YouTube, what it do? It's your boy TWV checking in for episode 31 of 40 years of Wrestlemania with TWV. And man, we are in the home stretch. I'm gonna keep saying it every day in these final 9, 10 episodes. Every day we get closer and closer to TWV Vegas takeover, man. And I am extremely excited to put together and curate all of the content for the channel. This will be my first time going to Las Vegas, and I am going to have a blast. I have so much planned, like I've said, even things I haven't even spoken about. But man, we're getting double vlogs every day. We're doing non-wrestling things. We're doing wrestling related things. Like it's just gonna be a fun time. And I just want to take you on that journey with me. So with that being said, let's get into the WrestleMania 31 review. WrestleMania 31 was held in Levi Stadium in San Francisco, California. And this was the first and only WrestleMania held in March. I think it was right at the end of the March at like the 28th, 29th, something like that. WrestleManias are predominantly April pay-per-views, either the first weekend of April. This past year was the last time I think it's going to be the first weekend of April because they don't want to combat with March Madness. So this year they did push it back 2 weeks. So it will be next weekend, which will be Easter weekend. But this pay-per-view was very lackluster. I keep saying this about a lot of these WrestleManias, man. It was the 2000s were kind of peak WrestleManias, and there was a lot of stuff I was enjoying. But these early 2010s, like I think they lost the direction of where they wanted to go. They didn't know if they still wanted to keep the superstars from the 2000s on top or usher in a new generation. They were in that weird middle ground, and you could tell from the show altogether. It is a two honorable mentions on this show. We're gonna speed through them not too quick, real quick. So my first honorable mention would be the Sting versus Triple H match. It was a really fun match. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It doesn't make the list because if you watch the match, he'll be like, why did he like this? But I'm just a wrestling fan, so I liked it. And the run-ins with DX and NWO were really cool, really nostalgic. Not for me, but watching all of the WrestleManias and seeing these guys in their past their prime just popping back up was really cool to see. And pretty funny to see them all old and really couldn't move around for real. So it was pretty funny to see. Cool part at the end of the match, when Triple H did pin Sting. They kind of stood off, like DX and Triple H all in was on one side of the ring and Sting and the NWO was on the other side, and Triple H walked to the middle of the ring and shook Sting's hand, and that was a cool sight to see. Because on commentary they were yelling about WCW in the 90s and all of that. Like it was it was just historic to see. It was cool to see. So that was the first one. The second one is the John Cena versus Rusev match for the United States Championship, and it did underwhelm me. But it was decent. It was decent. It was. I'm gonna say it was better than both the Rock and Cena matches. That might be a crazy take, but these are all real raw live reactions after watching each WrestleMania. So I think Cena kind of went out there and put a little bit more into it. He was doing diving off the top rope, leg drops, and he was getting in his bag a little bit. Like 2015, 2016, Cena is when he had that United States Championship run, and he was like wrestling his best matches. On a WrestleMania scale, I think John Cena's best match will always be WrestleMania 23. Nothing will top that match, in my personal opinion. I think that is his best match ever. Him and Cody are going to do something magical in the week after next, but I don't think it'll top him and Shawn. Like Shawn is Mr. WrestleMania for a reason. That's why he's my GOAT on my Mount Rushmore. Like just something about him and Cena in that ring in Detroit and Ford Field, and Cena driving that car through the glass and coming out and putting on a 5-star classic. Like I don't think nothing will ever top that in Cena's career on the WrestleMania stage. A lot of people like to say that AJ Styles matches are seen as best body of work. I have not watched those yet personally, so I have to circle back around to you right now. Stamping just a WrestleMania scale, Cena's best match is versus Shawn Michaels. But with that being said, let's get into the actual matches that I did like from this WrestleMania. So one match that I forgot to add to the honorable mentions is the Bray Wyatt versus Undertaker match. Like, it was disappointing because Undertaker had lost a step. his mind was still there, but his body just wasn't with him anymore. And it showed in this match terribly. Like, he wanted to go out there and put on a great performance, but his body just wouldn't allow him. And like I said, the match last year when he lost to Brock was the start of the streak. Well, the streak got broke in the decline of Undertaker's WrestleMania magic. Like, he had been doing it forever. Like, sooner or later, you know, you're going to be past your prime and you lose a step. He lost a step tremendously between the Brock match, getting the concussion, to this year going in facing Bray, and he keeps losing steps, continuing like into next year with the match versus Roman. Like, I did see that match before, so it wouldn't be my first time watching it tomorrow. But like, Taker just lost a step after going on a crazy streak of great WrestleMania matches right before it ended. Like I'd said before in the previous video, he had a run from like WrestleMania 15 to like 22. It was like 2 to 3 good matches in there. But once WrestleMania 23 hit, 23 literally to 30, he was on fire. He could not be stopped. Like, he had a row of like 7 straight bangers. Like, they were like that. But that was another slight honorable mention. We just gonna gloss over it. Like, man, it kind of sucks to see Taker kind of on that decline. Watching it live in the moment, like being there physically in 2015, 2014, all that when it happened, it was probably crazy to see. Looking back on it now, seeing who Taker is now past wrestling and Mark Calloway, the actual person, it would have sucked to kind of watch it back then, because I fell out of wrestling right around 2010, I want to say, because I remember watching WrestleMania 24 and 25 at my homie Quentin's house. But after that, I didn't watch wrestling again. I want to say until WrestleMania 36, and I want to say that's 2019. 2019 is when I got back into wrestling real heavy. But not to get long winded, let's get into the only match that I did like on WrestleMania 31. So the only match that I truly thoroughly enjoyed and recommend to watch on this WrestleMania is the main event of Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, which turned into a triple threat match when Seth Rollins goes and cashes in his Money in the Bank. So at first, didn't like the start of the match, because Brock Lesnar was beating the piss out of Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns was the underdog in the match, and you know, Brock Lesnar was the bad guy. Kind of picked up steam once Brock Lesnar started slapping Roman Reigns in the face, and Roman Reigns was laughing him out, and Paul Heyman was outside yelling, he's taunting you, he's embarrassing you. And then he kind of picked up the pace. Once Roman threw Brock Lesnar into the steel ring post, that's when things got interesting, and he made his comeback. Then boom, Superman punch, both superstars are laid out. Seth Rollins' music hits. He runs down, cashes in, two stomps to Brock. He doesn't dodge it. He gets put in the F5, and Roman spears Brock, and Seth throws Roman out the ring, pin 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins is your new champion, and then he sprints back up the stage to hold the title. Like, seeing the Heist of the Century live, not live, but for the first time outside of just seeing the little clips I've seen, like seeing the whole match and seeing how it progressed to get to the Heist of the Century, I definitely enjoyed it, because the storytelling, that they were telling a story, and then they pulled the ultimate trigger, boom, send Seth out there and just throw the crowd off. So it was a great moment. I loved everything about it. The match overall, with everything included, I give it 4 stars. If Seth doesn't come out there, Roman gets beat the brakes off of, and that is a stinker. So Seth really saved the match for me personally. So with that being said, it is only one match truly to watch on this WrestleMania, and it will be the main event. Ironically, this WrestleMania, not a single match went over 20 minutes. It was a lot of random segments in this WrestleMania. Like, these WrestleManias before the shift to like the new regime, they like to put segments in between matches. Like, this is not this is not a TV episode. We need matches. I don't care about watching the Rock come out here and talk to Triple H and Stephanie McMahon with Ronda Rousey. Like, I kind of skipped over that because I did not care. Like, they did that at older WrestleManias. Like, Roddy Piper came out there and had an interview with somebody at like WrestleMania 4 or 5. Like, I don't care to see that. I came to see Graps. But with that being said, it's your boy TWV checking in and checking out. I'll catch you tomorrow for the Monday Night Raw recap and episode 32. Peace.